So our heroes, after letting the darkness escape once again, are trying to find their way to a town to rest and recuperate. The lawman has a mutation. He's now allergic to Darkstone, has a slashed leg. The bandito has been fused with a whole bunch of Darkstone. The U.S. Marshal is allergic to Darkstone with a mutation. Saloon Girl still got her tail with a mouth. She also has a mangled hand. Both the bandito and the lawman have a tail that whispers in their ear, causing sanity damage. The saloon girl also has a void infection, so if she goes through gates, she has problems. Luckily, there probably won't be any gates between here and the frontier town, but the first thing we got to figure out is what size town. It's a large town. That's good news. Now, because it's a large town, they each take one travel hazard, and on a d6 of a 1, 2, or 3, they get a second hazard. So let's start. Saloon Girl, does she get a second hazard? She does not. The U.S. Marshal does not. The bandito does not. And the lawman does, of course. Alright, so red is the red is the tens place, white is the ones place. And so we'll start with the lawman since he has 2. So his first hazard is a 33. And I'm using the hazards out of the Frontier Town Adventure book. So a 33 is harried by hellbats. As the heroes move through the countryside, dark swarms of hellbats follow overhead, swooping down to terrorize them as they go. Each hero must roll a d6 for every dark stone they are carrying. On a roll of 1, that dark stone item is snatched away by the hellbats and carried off into the night. Okay, I'm going to have to make a sort of an educated decision on the bandito because all the darkstone is fused to him. I don't think they can take his Darkstone. But the Saloon Girl has 8, so we'll start with her. Let's see how many she loses. She loses 1, so she's down to 7. The Marshal... I'm also going to say that the 8 that are in their case are hidden, so they can't be taken. So his other 12 he loses 1. Bandito, it's all fused to him unless they can pick up the bandito too. And then the lawman has 6 additional. And he loses 2, so he is down to 4 additional outside of the 8 that he already had. So that was his number 1. Let's look at number 2. Is a 12. Usually, or I'm sorry, a 21. Usually things are worse the lower, so let's see. Oh, this is that mimic beast one. One random hero must discard any transport they have. Also, one other hero is missing. Who knows how long the mimic beast was posing as your friend. Follow the trail of gore. You find the missing hero tied up and savagely beaten in a ramshackled lair. That hero now rejoins the posse, but takes d6 wounds, ignoring defense. That carry over to the next adventure, and loses d6 times 25 experience points. So, it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, it's the lawman, and he gets d6 wounds. So he just took 5 wounds that go over to the next adventure, and he loses, I've already forgotten, d6 times 25 experience points. He loses 125 experience points. It has not been a good day for him. Okay, now the bandito. His travel hazard is a 55. A massacred wagon train. You come across the twisted wreckage and broken bodies of a wagon train torn apart by creatures. Each hero can decide to pass it by, or they can sift through the gore to look for anything useful. If you search, you make a luck 5 test. If it fails, you lose a sanity permanently, as you are scarred by the horror of things you find. If it's passed, you roll a d6 to see what you find. Alright, so it is a luck 5. Does anybody, let's see. Bandito has a luck 2, probably not good. Luck 3, luck 3. Saloon Girl has a luck of 4, so I think she'll try her luck. So luck 5 test. And she passes. So let's see what she finds. You roll on a d6. A 3 is gear, so she gets to just draw a gear card. Ah, she gets an herb token. Not a terrible one. Now for the lawman. Surprised they don't get any experience for that, but okay. Alright, I'm sorry, the U.S. Marshal. 52. Bandits. Waylaid by bandits on the road, the heroes fend off as many as they can. The bandits surround each hero individually. There are 5 bandits per hero, and each hero must roll a d6 to see how many of those bandits they defeat. For every bandit you defeat, gain 10 experience. For each of your 5 bandits you do not defeat, you lose $25, 1 dark stone, or 1 gear or artifact of your choice. Alright, so the lawman, how many can he defeat? 3. Alright, so he gets 30 experience, which means he's only lost 95 now, but he loses 2 Darkstone. Alright, well that's not really going to bother us too much. Now the Bandito. He defeats them all and gets 50 experience. Alright, the U.S. Marshal. He defeats them all and gets 50 experience. And the Saloon Girl. Oh, she only defeats 2, so she gets 20. And she loses 3 Darkstone. Okay. Yep, we're going with Darkstone. And now, I guess, now we're just down to the Saloon Girl. She rolls a 66. Please be good. Oh, Traveler on the Road. This result may not be re-rolled or canceled. Roll once on the chart below to see what type of stranger you have run into. And rolling on this chart may also not be re-rolled. Okay. We roll a 5. The Traveling Missionary. All heroes may fully heal their sanity and remove D3 corruption points. Okay, you know, that... Well, I guess if you've taken sanity on the road. But, okay, so... Saloon Girl. 2. Marshal. 3. Bandito. 2. Lawman. 2. Well, since they've already taken all those mutations, they are now clean of corruption. So, travel hazard's not too terrible. Some got experience, some lost some experience. They all lost a little Darkstone, which they can handle. They have got plenty of Darkstone they need to sell. Especially the Bandito. And I'm glad he didn't lose any Darkstone to the bandits, because I don't quite know how I would handle that. I guess he would have had to have given up something else. Alright, so now let's figure out what kind of town they have come into. So we roll on 2d6. We roll an 8. That is a standard frontier town. And it's got 2 less shops than it's supposed to because of being punished. Alright, so we have all of the town chits. We're missing 2. So we just have 2 less. So I'm just not going to do 6 and 7 down here. So we'll just grab some. And we'll just say those are the 2 that are destroyed. These can all go away. So we have in our town a general store, an Indian trading post, a saloon, a church, a blacksmith, and a sheriff's office. Not a lot of great places to heal. So our heroes are in the campsite now. It's all set up. The first thing you do every day is you pull a daily event token. Rolling into town, a traveling tonic salesman opens up the sides of his cart to show his wares. Each hero may purchase up to 3 tonic tokens at a cost of $100 each. Afterward, roll a die for each tonic token purchased. On a 1 or 2, it is worthless and you must discard it. No, I'm not that interested in those, so I'm going to let that be. Next, they're going to stay at the hotel. We're not going to chance the luck has been so bad, we're not going to chance anything. And we have tons of gold. I mean, the saloon girl has over 6,000 gold. Everybody else is almost at 3,000 or more. So minus 10 gold each is not a big deal. I think they're going to start out going to the Indian trading post. And in fact, all of them are. Now this could get interesting because that's 4 rolls on the Indian trading post, but they want to go there. Well, actually, yeah, they want to go there because they can trade Darkstone to try and get rid of some of these mutations. They could go to the campsite and pay. I wonder where they're more likely to have success. The success is the same either place. So why don't I send 2 to the campsite and 2 to the Indian trading post. They're going to go to the campsite. Alright, now next thing you do, we got to roll our location event for the Indian trading post for the saloon girl. An 8. Trade opportunities. The local tribe is gearing up for a major hunt and they are looking for extra gear and Darkstone. Heroes at the Indian trading post may sell gear and artifact cards for an extra D6 times 25 and may also sell Darkstone here today for 100 per shard. Okay, and now for the U.S. Marshal. He's got a 12. One with the spirits. You are offered entry into local tribe for your heroic deeds. You may gain the keyword tribal. If already tribal, you may take a Spirit 4 test and gain +1 sanity. But he is not tribal, but he is going to become tribal. Alright. So if they get into Jargono and have to get some stuff there, but they're really thinking about retiring anyway. Alright, so now for the Bandito, a 6. The sights you see at the campsite are not pretty, but the smells are worse. No event. Okay, and now the Lawman. He's got an 8. Dirty Poker. The campsite is filled with drinking and laughing and games of cards over a rickety table or barrel head. You may make a Luck 4 test for every 4 plus roll, gain 25. For every 1 rolled, lose 50. His luck is 3, so, well, what the heck. We'll go ahead and try it. Alright, so that was a Luck 4, so he actually got 3 of them, so he gets 75 gold. Alright, and now for the really important stuff. The saloon girl is going to go first. She is going to spend 3 Darkstone. she gets to roll to see what happens. Oh, she is possessed. She is possessed by a corrupting spirit. You know what? She's going to use her grit to reroll that. She doesn't need D3 more mutations. A 2. It failed. Alright. Well, that wasn't helpful. Alright, so the Marshal spends 6 Darkstone, and he gets 5 success. So his mutation is cured. He only had 1 mutation, but he loses 6 Darkstone. Well, that was not that helpful for them. Well, I mean, it was helpful for him, but his poor saloon girl. Alright, so let's go to the Bandito now. Oh, and do they want to sell any Darkstone? You know, they're not going to sell any Darkstone yet because they may try this again. Alright, the Bandito, he's over at the campsite. Oh, do they want to do anything else? You know, she could do... She could do a vision quest. He's already done his vision quest. Nah, we're not gonna... Nope, we're going to the Bandito. The Bandito is going to pay 250 gold. And he is going to try and remove his fused to Darkstone. So we're going to roll... Oh, it's just a D6. 6, it succeeds. So for he spent 250 and he's gotten rid of his fused to Darkstone. Alright, and now the Lawman is going to do the same. And he will get a 2. Failed, it is not healed. You know what? He's just going to use his grit. What the heck? He's going to try again. A 5. Success. Alright, so he has lost his allergy to Darkstone. And do they have anything they want to do there? You know what? I think the Bandito is going to buy 2 whiskeys for 100. And he is going to buy 2 bandages for 100. No, he already has a dynamite, so... And he has a bandage he never used, so he's good right there. So he's got rid of 2. He bought 2 bandages. The Lawman, on the other hand, is going to buy 2 bandages and 2 whiskeys. So that's another 200 from him. This was an expensive trip for these guys. And that's all they're going to do there. So they're all going to come back here. We got to roll to see if there's an event. There is not. And now we start day 2. All prices in town today are -10. And you know, I think we're going to... We will just flip-flop. These guys will go to the Indian Trading Post, and they will go to the campsite. So the Bandito's daily event is a 9. He is at the Indian Trading Post. Same thing, so he can sell gear or he can sell Darkstone. Alright, and now the Lawman. Ooh, a 12. That was good, right? One with the spirits. He is now tribal as well. So both of my Lawmen are tribal. Which is actually, I think he has... I don't know, he got rid of it. Well, he does have the war paint that he hasn't sold. He might sell that. No, he's going to keep that. He might use that. Okay, now, so for the U.S. Marshals event over at the campsite is a 7. I'm pretty sure that's just a nothing. Yep. Yep, no event. Everything's still stinky. And she gets an 8, which is no event. Everything is still stinky. Okay, so I don't know why I had the Bandito go with him, because the Bandito doesn't have any Oh no, he still has his, they both have their, what is that called? The tail. The tail that speaks to them. Alright, so the Bandito is going to spend some Darkstone. He's going to spend 3 Darkstone. And let's see what happens. A 5. Success. He now no longer has the tail that's giving him sanity damage. But he has 3 less Darkstone, but he's okay with that because they're not fused to his skin anymore. Alright, now the Lawman has that same thing, so he only has to spend 1 Darkstone. And 2, it fails. And he used his grit last time, so he's stuck. Alright, so he lost a Darkstone, but at least nothing bad happened. Okay, so now the U.S. Marshal is going to pay his 2... what is the... Well, the Marshal doesn't have anything wrong with him, so he's just there for moral support. So Saloon Girl is going to spend her $250. And she is going to 6 success. So she no longer has a void in, well, we'll get rid of the tail with the mouth first. And she can only do 1 surgery attempt per visit. You know, actually, yeah, that's what we'll get rid of. She'll have to come back to try and get her mangled hand fixed as well. And let's see, the Marshal is going to buy 2 bandages and 2 whiskey while he's there. So they're 40 each this go round. And he actually has extra side bags. But he'll just spend that 160. And then the Saloon Girl, she's just going to buy 1 bandage for 40. And that is the end of another day. So, oh, see if we have a, nope, no event. So now the daily event is no effect. We're not in a specialty town, so it's all good. Alright, so the Lawman and the Saloon Girl both have injuries, so they're going to the campsite to see if they can get those fixed. The Bandito, he's good to go now. So he, I think, will go, well, the Marshal's going to go to the Sheriff's office. And the Bandito, what should he do? What can a bad guy do in this kind of town? He doesn't really want to do much of anything, but I guess he'll just go to the gambling hall, maybe? Oh no, you know what he's going to do? He's going to go to the general store where he can buy some dynamite. Alright, so, Bandito, a 9. A fire sale. All purchase prices are reduced by $50. Okay, well we know what he's going to do. Alright, now the Lawman. 8, we know that that's just stinky. And the Saloon Girl. Ooh, an 11. I don't know what happens. 11. A sober morning. A good time to get things done. All heroes at the campsite today may add +1 to their rolls at the docks tent or church tent. Good news. Alright, and then the Sheriff's office. 6. 6. Cold hard justice. No event. It's the best I could hope for. Okay, so let's start with the Bandito. He's going to buy 2 dynamite. And they are normally 200, but now today they're 150, so 300. We're spending a lot of money. That's really all he needs. Does he still have enough for... He does not have enough for the sombrero. Because that heals a sanity at the start of every turn. Yeah, I think he's okay. Alright, let's go to the Saloon Girl and the Lawman. So the Saloon Girl is going to pay her $250. And she's going to try and... She heals her mangled hand. But she still has a void infection. Now Lawman's going to pay his $250. And that takes it up to a 4 because of the +1, so he is healed. His slashed leg. But he and the saloon girl, I guess, will be going back to the Indian trading post next turn. We are in day 3 now. And I think that's all they're going to do there. And then Lawman's over at the sheriff's office. Well, he might as well do a sheriff's bounty. So, any void spiders for next go round. He'll get extra experience points. Not that well, we don't know, they could get run out of town or something. There's not much. Yeah, that's really, okay. I thought there'd be more for him to do there. They have the Executioner shotgun, but you roll your damages on a D6 instead of the D8. But you get 3 shots. No, he's going to stay with his current gun. Wow, that was a pretty uneventful time. Let's see, do we have an event? We do not. Alright, so we're going to go to day 4. They're all going to come back. So we've had to pay another 10, another 20. And alright. We found something. Each buried in the sand. Come take a look. I ain't never seen nothing like it. Each hero may make a lore 4 test to investigate. Gain 10 experience for each 4, and if you roll any 1s, you take D6 horror hits. If you roll any 6s, you also discover the miners have found something of value and are willing to sell it to you, and draw a world card and draw the artifact and see if you want to buy it. Alright, so each hero makes a lore 4 test. So the saloon girl has a lore of 6. So she did take a 1, and then she gets 30 experience. But she does take 5 horror hits. So she takes 1 sanity damage. Sanity. Next comes the U.S. Marshal, has a lore of 2. There's... Oh, and he gets 20 experience. And he did roll a 6, so... Lawman does a lore of 3. He gets 20 experience, and the Bandito has a lore of 3, and he gets 20 experience. Let's see how much we will be buying this thing for. 250, I'm not even going to bother, because we've got so much stuff, I've got to sell some of my equipment. Okay. So I just rolled to pay. And now we need these 2 to go here. I don't know that I think the Marshal and the Bandito are going to be done. They're just going to hang around. Because there is nothing left for them to do. It's just these 2. So they're going to just hang out at the hotel. They're going to call it a day. So technically they're done, but they're not going to leave their buddies behind. They'll just sit at the edge of town, I guess. Alright, so first event for the Lawman. 7, that's a nothing. And then for the Saloon Girl, an 11. Animal Messenger. Entering the trading post, an owl flies down and lands on a signpost. It looks at you with knowing eyes, and you feel confident in facing the terrors to come. During the next adventure, you gain Spirit Armor 5. And the first time you are KO'd, you do not need to roll for injury or madness. Okay. Maybe they will go on another adventure. Alright, so the Lawman, how many Darkstone does he spend? 1 again. Well, let's see what he does. 5, okay. He loses his tail. And now the... oh, take away his Darkstone too. And she pays 4 Darkstone. Which is it for her Darkstone, so let's see how she does. She is possessed. Possessed by a corrupting spirit, you are not healed, but instead immediately gain D3 new mutations. 1 more new mutation. Okay, so she gains a 46. 46, a second head. They say 2 heads are better than 1. I'm not so sure. You may now use 2 clothing hat items, and you are +1 initiative. However, anytime you roll a natural 6 for movement, you lose your activation as your 2 heads are arguing over where to go next. Ugh. That is not good. Okay, well, end of the day. Do we have an event? We do. So what happens? A 9. Intense dread. A dark cloud on the horizon makes your soul sink as you see a void twister in the distance, wipe through a neighboring town. Each hero makes a cunning 6 test. If successful, gain experience. If failed, D6 plus 3 damage, ignoring sanity damage, ignoring willpower. If no heroes pass this test, also add a drawing dread at the next adventure. Alright, so her cunning is 3. And it is a cunning 6 test. Oh, she fails. And then he doesn't have, oh, he's got a cunning of 4. And he fails. Okay. Alright. So they each take D6 plus 3 sanity damage. So she takes 9 sanity damage and he takes 6 sanity damage. Okay. Well, they got to pay 10 more gold each for their stay in the hotel. And we get a, and we get a growing dread at the start of the next. +1 growing dread. There's a lot going on into the next adventure, but this resets. We draw a daily event. A mob riot. Each hero may attempt to help quell the riot by making a strength 4 test. If failed, they are knocked over and take D6 wounds. If passed, they gain 20 experience. Then roll a D6 for each building in the town that was not protected, and on a roll or 1 or 2, that building is destroyed in the riot. You know what? We're not going to protect anything because we're only going to the campsite at this point. So we'll do the trading post. It's okay. General store is okay. Saloon, okay. Church, they destroy the church. Blacksmith, okay. Sheriff's office is okay. Alright, so they're going to go here. Lawman, he rolls a 12. He may draw a gear card. Gain 2 hatchet tokens. Okay, and then for the saloon girl, she draws a 10. That's the dirty poker, so she can make a luck 4 test. You know what, her luck has not been that good. She's not going to bother. He gets 2 hatchet tokens. He's going to have to dole those out to people. And now they'll each pay, well no, he is done. Does he have anything wrong with him? No, it's just her. So she's going to pay her $250. She's going to roll on the dice. A 4, So that gets rid of her second head. She is going to buy and drink a whiskey. So that's another 50. So that's 300 more gone total. And she will heal 3 sanity. Alright. Now they roll to see if something happens. Nothing happens. He's going to run away too. And it's just her left. And I'm going to just keep going until I can get her healed. So the next daily event is all heroes in town may recover a grit. Well, I guess everybody else should have stayed. Alright. So that happened. She's going to pay another 10. She's going right back there. Let's see what they do. It's a 9. That's the dirty poker thing. She's not going to bother with that. She's going to pay another 250 and see what happens. That's a 3, which fails, but she's going to use that grit she just got and gets a 4, so it passes. So finally, she got rid of her void infection. They are going to leave town, and they are going to figure out what they are going to do next. So when we come back, we'll figure out what the hero posse is going to do. Are they going to stay together, or are they going to split up? Saloon Girl and the Lawman going to retire? What are the, and the Marshal, the Lawman and the Bandito, what are they going to do? I don't know. We're going to find out shortly. Well, the first thing I have to do before that is I have to see if there is another event. And there is another event. So the Saloon Girl is stuck with an event before she and everybody else can figure out what they're doing. And it is an 8. Spreading fear again. Roll on a d6 to see... Wait a minute. Oh, this is not the same one. I'm sorry. Fear spreads through the town as the days grow dark and the demonic attacks more frequent. One random town location closes up shop and may not be visited for the rest of this town's stay. The campsite dissipates and may no longer be used, and the hotel doubles their current rate. Well, since we're leaving, that actually was the best one to get because it just doesn't matter. So our heroes, deciding what they're going to do as they are sitting on the hotel porch, they paid for the day already, or she did. They're just coming to pick her up. And they decide that they're going to split ways for right now. They've enjoyed each other's company, but they have spent a lot of money. They've been on a lot of adventures. Saloon Girl spent almost $1,500 healing up. Bandito about $750. The Lawman, oh no, yeah, about that. The Lawman almost $1,000. Marshall, he didn't spend that much. He didn't even spend $200, but he got lucky with those rolls. So the Saloon Girl and the Marshal, first thing is they've got to decide. They're really thinking through. They may just retire to a nearby frontier town. On a 1 or a 2, they will continue to adventure. On a 4, 5, or 6, they're going to retire to a town, which basically means that they're going to go on to a town adventure, but they are planning on settling down and retiring as level 5 heroes. I think they're level 5. The next time we see them, they will be sitting on the front porch of their house in some little town. Now the Marshal and the Bandito, they're going to continue on, and I think I'll roll to see what they're going to do next. So I need my D20, and it's a 16, so they are going to Cinder. So the Bandito and the U.S. and the Lawman will be heading down to Cinder. They're going to take with them the Growing Dread card, and that they quote-unquote earned on this trip. And the Marshal and the Saloon Girl, not sure that the Marshal will ever get his bounties on those Void Spiders, but we'll see what happens here in the next town that they go to. So, hey, until next time, it's either going to be a trip into Cinder or a Frontier Town adventure.